Hari Om to everyone else. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhuna Vande Guru Param Param Om Shuklam Varadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Sada Shiva Samaram Shankaracharya Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Param श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं वादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्तु दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुतगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः श्रीचिन्मययतीशस्य गुरुं वन्दे तपोवनं तं हिमवद्विभूतिं वै ज्ञानवैराग्यरूपिणम् समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् Hari Om to everyone else. Today, our discussion is on the dream state, Swapna Avastha. Before starting that, I just want to mention that yesterday we studied. Okay, it will come. Now today's portion, I will directly. Once Swami Vivekananda told in his complete works, volume 2, page number 59, that to me it seems very natural that the glimpse of religion should come through dreams. The first idea of immortality man may well get through dreams. Now, the question may come that a dream may come true or not. Sri Ramakrishna's father, Kshudiram Chattopadhyay, one day went to another village on business. On his way back, he became tired and rested under a tree. He was extremely a pious person, very devoted to Lord, never uttered a single bit of lie. Even in the village he used to stay, the landlord made any dispute. And then British government was there. But everyone knew the character of Kshudiram Chattopadhyay. So government told if Kshudiram tells this is true, without anything else we will take the judgment. Then the landlord came, Jamindar, that if you tell I will be saved and I will give you 5 villages to you. He denied. Then he told, then you have to go, you have to leave this village. And not only that, around 10 villages or more than that is mine. You have to leave that. Kshudiram told, I don't mind. And he did not tell the lies. And with 5 kids, one family person with his wife had to leave the village and just became destitute, no place for staying, no food, no water, but he did not care. Truth was his religion. Such a person, when he was resting under a tree, then he had a dream in which he saw standing before him his chosen deity, Lord Sri Rama. So today is 5th August, and you know, today is an international event. The Ram temple will be consecrated today after a long centuries. Whatever. So he saw that his chosen deity, Lord Rama, in front of him, in the guise of a divine boy. His body was green like tender blades of durva grass, pointing to a particular spot. The boy said to Kshudiram, I have been staying here for a long time without food and without anyone to take care of me. Take me to your house. I have a very strong desire that you should serve me. Kshudiram was overcome with emotions and said, paying homage to Lord Rama again and again, O Lord, I am without devotion and I am very poor. Service befitting you is not possible in my heart, and I shall incur sin should there be any flaw in it. So why do you make such a difficult request to me? At this, that small Ramachandra, Lord Ramachandra, told and comforted Kshudiram and said graciously, "Do not be afraid. I shall not take offense at any shortcoming. Take me with you." Unable to control his feeling at the Lord's unexpected grace, Kshudiram burst into tears. Just then, his dream came to an end. When he wake up, Kshudiram wondered at the strangeness of his dream and thought, if only such a good fortune would be mine. Then suddenly his eyes fell upon the paddy field close by, and at once he recognized it as a very place he had seen in the dream. Out of curiosity, he approached the spot where he saw a beautiful salagram stone and a snake with expanded hood guarding it. Eager to possess the stone, he hastened towards it. On reaching it, he found that the snake had disappeared and that salagram stone was lying at the entrance to its hole. Seeing that the dream had come true, his heart leaped with joy, and he felt no fear of the snake, convinced as he was that he had received God's command, crying out, "Glory to Raghuveer, glory to Raghuveer, glory to Raghuveer." Bolo Siyavar Ramachandra ki Jai. Kshudiram took the stone in his hands. He carefully examined the marks on it. You know, Salagram Sila is with the eyes, sacred thread, knows everything. Once I was roaming on the bank of river Reva, and I found it, and still I'm gracious to serve it. So the thing is, so he carefully examined the marks on it, and with his knowledge of the scriptures, found it to be a Raghuvir Shila or Shalagram Shila. Beside himself, with joy and wonders, he turned home, performed the purification ceremony of the Salagram Shila according to scriptures, and installing it as the family deity, and began worshipping it. It is worshipped even today I have seen that stone in Kamarpuku. Now the question is, are dreams real then? Since unknown time, dreams have been playing a significant part in our lives. Though whenever we see dreams, most of us say they are false, imagination, or just dreams. Some of us nevertheless give credence to them. Thus, there are always two opinions about dreams. Some say dreams are important, while others say that dreams are to be ignored. There is a third group which says that dreams themselves are not true, but the effect they produce is true. If I see a tiger in dream, even when I wake up wake up, my heart will be beating fast. According to saints and scriptures, dreams with spiritual content are real, in the sense that if one sees forms of gods and goddesses, they are visitations. They are visitations. Further, they say that owing to the impurities still, remain in the mind of the devotee. Perhaps the Lord cannot answer his or her prayers straight away. So the Lord comes in dreams and blesses, guides, and saves his or her devotee. There is one more opinion current. Not all religious dreams are truly visitations. Some may be dreams only. But the effect they leave on the mind, peace, happiness, desire for higher life are real. And the devotee is advised to hold on to any support that may come in his or her way of spiritual progress. A sinking man holds on to anything he can lay hands on. The great sage Patanjali Maharshi provides provision for meditation on dream objects also. In the ancient world, dreams were both objects of awe and reverence. There are several papyri available even now about the ancient interpretation of dreams. One book I'm mentioning you, Oneirocritica. I don't know the actual pronunciation because it's a Greek book. Oneirocritica. I pronounced it as Oneirocritica. Critica means study of study of, and oneiros is Greek word, it means dreams.
Please repeat, Swamiji.
It's a negligible thing. You will never get it. Maybe you will get very hard. You will never study it. Oneirocritica, written by the great Greek philosopher Artemidoros Daldinas. He was the philosopher of 2nd century. So according to this book, or this book is considered the best of the ancient dream literature. In Greece, as well as in the Middle Ages, dreams were mediums of healing the sick. Psychoanalysis took up dreams as a significant factor in studying human nature. Initiated by Sigmund Freud in his famous book, The Interpretation of Dreams. Dreams were considered an expression of the libido in the human being. In the waking state, the libido cannot express itself fully because of the ego censors the ideals. But in dreams, however, there is a free expression. Thus, for Freud, dreams were expressions of hidden desires of living beings. But Carl Jung did not accept Freud's view that dreams were secret expressions of one's over desires. He took a positive view and said that the personality cannot express itself fully in daytime. So it expresses its positive traits in dreams. And he said that dreams should be studied with reference of archetypes or cultural history. Later, psychoanalysts have developed several techniques to study dreams. When there is a rapid eye movement or REM or REM in a sleeping person, he or she must be dreaming them. Such a state has been called D-sleep state, not deep sleep. D-sleep state. In psychoanalysts' study of successive dreams, reported promptly without inhibitions or hiding, and their interpretations by competent psychoanalysts may help to some extent in knowing the unconscious. For this, the analyst should be a deeply spiritual personality. But how do Western philosophers look at dreams? The English philosopher Bertrand Russell he wrote, "It is obviously possible that what we call waking life may be only an unusual and persistent nightmare. And he further stated that I do not believe that I am now dreaming, but I cannot prove I am not. Now, the Vedic view. The Vedic view of dreams have been varied. From ignoring some as stupid to revering some as epoch-making revelations, ancient Hindu religious persons have diverse opinion about dreams. Dreams have been described in Upanishads and in the Veda. Why I am segregating? Because Upanishad only deals with knowledge, and here Veda means what only deals with the rituals. In that sense, I am telling Veda and Upanishad. Both are same. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, I will quote 2.1.18. The mantra is like that. Sayatrai swapnyaya charati te hasya lokastaduteva maharajaha भवत्युतेव महाब्राह्मण उतेव चावचम निगच्छति स यथा महाराजः जानपदान् गृहीत्वा से जनपदे यथा कामं परिवर्तेते वमेवं वैश एतत् प्राणान् गृहीत्वा स्वे शरीरे यथा कामं परिवर्तते. It means that when the jiva, the sukshma sharir or the subtle body sees the dream, it may appear as if the living being is going places, but no. It moves about in its own body as it wishes. That is all. It does not go where it wishes. Sage Yajnavalkya says that in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 4.3.9. I will also quote it. तस्य व एतस्य पुरुषस्य द्वे एव स्थाने भवत इदं च परलोकस्थानं च संध्य तृतीयगुं स्वप्नस्थानं तस्मिन् संध्ये स्थाने तिष्ठन्नेते उभे स्थाने पश्यतीदं च परलोकस्थानं चाथ यथा क्रमोऽयं परलोकस्थाने भवतु तमाक्रममाक्रम्य भयान् पाप्मन आनन्दागश्च पश्यति स यत्र प्रस्वपित्यस्य लोकस्य सर्वावत मात्राम् अपादाय स्वयं विहत्य स्वयं निर्माय स्वेन भासा स्वेन ज्योतिषा प्रस्वपित्यत्रायं पुरुष स्वयं ज्योतिर्भवति. In Mandukya Bhashya, a Mandukya Upanishad Bhashya, in fourth mantra, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji has quoted this mantra. What it says in dreams, there will be no chariots, no animals to be fixed to them, nor roads to travel on, but all these are created by the individual soul. The dream state has been called the junction, sandhyam, sthanam. So the thing is, these are quite a number of instances in the Veda which discuss dreams. The Brahma Sutra 3.2.3 says that the dream is nothing but Maya, because it does not give a total picture of everything as seen in the waking state. In Viveka Chudamani, sloka or verse number 100, it is depicted, Sapnaha bhavati swapno bhavatyassa vibhakyavastha swamatra seshena vibhati yatra swapne tu buddhi swayameva jagrat kalina nana vidavasanavi kartradi bhavam pratipadya rajate yatra swayam jyotirayam paratma. It means in dream state, the subtle body is expressed and without any external instrument. Instrument means not outside body. You know, we have studied what is external instrument or bahya karana or and antahkarana, inner instrument. So hands, legs, eyes, ears, those are considered as bahya karana or external instrument. Without that, the subtle body is expressed in dream. In that state, only pure consciousness is illumined or expressed. And the intellect or buddhi itself, what gathers the impressions through his doership, enjoyership, and a lot of work, that impression only is expressed in the dream state. Dreams before to the subtle body, they enjoy subtle objects and see what was seen in the waking state. The famous text of Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, it is called the Upadesha Sahasri, which is also considered as another Upanishad. In 14th chapter, the chapter's name is Swapna Smriti Prakaranam. In its first sloka, Bhagavan is writing, Swapna Samrityor Ghatar Dehi Rupa Bhasa Pradishyate Puranonam Tadakara Dhir Drishtetyanumiyate. As the resemblance of objects of knowledge like jars, etc., is perceived in dream and memory, it is inferred that the intellect in those forms was surely seen before in the waking state. So, it feels that dreams are the resurrection of the waking state experience. The reason this scripture gives is this: objects seen in dreams resemble those of the waking state. The buddhi or the intellect is the material and efficient cause of dreams because there are no materials or other intelligence in the dream state. In this 14th chapter of Upadesha Sahasri, in 8th sloka, Bhagavan is writing that Karanam karma karta cha kriya swapne phalam cha dhihi jagratyevam yato drishta drashta tasmadatonyatha. It is the intellect that becomes the instrument, the object, the agent, actions, and their results in dream. It is known to be so in waking state also. The seer is therefore different from the intellect and its object. If dreams are the creation of ignorance, as our scriptures say, why should we give any importance to them at all? Why should we not ignore them as the working of the mind in sleep? Human beings have tried to ignore dreams, but there are some which appear to have some connection with waking life. So our scriptures are compassionate enough to accept dream, accept the dreams. The scripture says that dreams are suchakasya, indicators also. In Brahma Sutra 3.2.4 and in the Chandogya Upanishad 5.2.8, there is the injunction that if people see a woman in their dreams during the days when they are performing some important act, they should understand that the work will be successful. Such indicators are true, say that the scripture. If you want to know, I can quote the mantra also. Okay, leave it, it's a big mantra. Just write down the name. One day, while Holy Mother Sarada was taking rest in the afternoon, she dreamed that Lord Sri Ramakrishna had got up from bed and was on the floor. Sri Ramakrishna had passed away by then. Holy Mother used to worship his picture and surprised at seeing the dream. She woke up, approached the shrine room where there was the Lord's bed and saw the photograph covered with ants. Evidently, the ants had come from the flowers and her dream indicated that they disturbed the rest of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, who was a living presence to her. Swami Vivekananda had a dream while he was traveling by sea about the Crete island. He immediately woke up and asked the captain of the ship where they were. And they were near Crete the Kali temple in Dakshineshwar was built, it's another incident. The Kali temple in Dakshineshwar was built based upon a dream that Rani Rashmani had. In this way, there are several schools and several ways of interpreting that value of dreams. Some Hindu philosophers have viewed dreams as if they were mythological realities. Some have thought that dreams have a natural bearing on waking life. Some others feel that spiritual dreams are visitations. Some say that dreams are experiences which need not to be counted at all. And we, the followers of Advaita Vedanta, non-dual philosophy based on Veda, we feel that even the waking state is as good as a dream. Consider dreams to be of no consequence at all, but as merely Maya, yet for us, ordinary individuals, the effects that dreams have should be real. Instead of harping much on dreams, saints advise us to pray and practice the spiritual practices. Now, today's sloka, student is asking, Swapnavastha keti chet. Swapnavastha keti chet. Jagrat avasthayam yat drishtam yat shrutam tat janita vasanaya nidra samaye yah prapancha pratiyate sa swapnavastha sukshma sharira abhimani atma tejasa iti uchyate. Once again I'm chanting. Swapnavastha keti chet Jagradavasthayam yad drishtam yad shrutam tad janita vasanaya nidra samaye yah prapancha pratiyate sa swapnavastha sukshma sharira abhimani atma tejasa iti uchyate. So the thing is, word for word meaning, Keti chet, if asked what it is, swapnavastha, the dream state. It is also feminine gender. Huh? Swapnavastha. Jagrad avasthayam, in the waking state. Yad, which drishtam, seen. Yat srutam, which is heard. Tadjanita vasanaya, by the impressions born from that. Nidra samaye, at the time of sleep. Yaha prapanchaha, which the world pratiyate experienced, sa, that swapna vastha, dream state, and Sukshma Sharira Abhimani Atma, the self which is identified with the individual subtle body, Taijasaha iti uchate is called Taijasa. Clear? Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji is writing here that what is the dream state? The explanation is the world that is projected while in sleep from the impressions born of what was seen and heard in the waking state is called the dream state. The self identified with the subtle body is called Tejas. There is a proverb, seeing is believing. Also, most of our knowledge in the waking world is gathered through hearing. You know, there is a famous story that some person told that, hey, the crow has taken away your ears, and we start running after the crow, you know. Suppose we don't like someone else and some interesting thing happenings in their house. Suppose it happens between, no, I will not differentiate any gender. Suppose any girl's marriage is happening and they have several some instinctual tendencies, little bit jealousy, that who will be got married first and like that. And if they are not invited, their friends, they are always eager to know, eager to hear what happened there. They send someone else, or if they hear some nearest one has gone there and they are questioned, hey, what was he doing? What was she doing? What sari he was wearing? What she told? How the hospitality was? I know they are like that. All that started. And all those knowledge we gathered through hearing. And sometimes we are unjustified also. Therefore, the eyes and the ears are the main sources of gaining experiences. Experiences gained through other senses, the mind and the intellect in the waking state from impressions in the mind. The more intense or more repetitive the experience, the deeper are the impressions. The mind creates, sustains, and ends the dream world. Not only the world, but also the enjoyer of this world. The dreamer is created by the mind. The dreamer can have an entirely different identity from the waker. You know how Ashtavakra Gita was started? King Janaka was dreaming that he is a beggar, very poor, and he has come in a place which is overpowered by the drought. And he was not having any food, not a drop of water, and he started crying, oh, give me a drop of water, give me food. And when he got up, he saw that all the servants are standing with the food and water. So in dream we can have the entirely different identity from the waker. The conscious thinking by the intellect has no role to play in the dream state. Also, there is no notion of doership and hence no merits or demerits is created in the dream. Oh, thank God. There, because in waking state, we incur so much merits and demerits. At least we are saved in dream that there is no merits and demerits are created in the dream. There is only the notion of enjoyership, bhoktritva. But again, there is no choice about whether to enjoy or to suffer. I don't know whether the dream will be joyous or painful. There is no control of mind. Dreams are the unfulfilled wishes of the waker or the garbled impressions of the waking state that do not require gross manifestations also. One may dream of winning a lottery of $1 billion or of a horse flying. The dream may seem strange or sights illogical or ridiculous to the waker. But the dreamer doesn't feel so. And another thing, what we never have seen, we never dream. Maybe you can ask that where you have seen that flying horse. Yes, it's true. But we have seen horse, we have seen wings of different creatures, and we have seen flying also. And our imagination expresses. In Ravindranath is writing, Amar Chetonar Range, Panna holo Sobud, Chuni holo Lal. With the color of my own consciousness, the emerald becomes green and the ruby becomes red. The self does not identify with the gross body then, but only with the subtle and causal bodies, the self is identified then. The individual is then called Taijasa. As the dream world is thought created, Tejamaya antakarana vritti rupatvat Taijasa. This is the definition of Taijasa. Tejamaya antakarana vritti rupatvat Taijasa. And the dream may seem unreal to the waker, but it is very real. It is very, very real for the dreamer. Now the word I will come, prapancha. Pancha means 5. But pancha also means variety. Prapancha, prakrishta rupena panchayati yaha saha prapancha. And tajjanita vasana. In causal state, everything is unmanifested or unable to manifest. Dream state means everything is subtle form, and in dream there is no rational faculty also. No rational faculty. There is no logic will be applied. No reasoning. I can dream. Animals can study Vedanta also. So there is beautiful sloka for this analysis. The beautiful, I will So dream, I lose my identification with my gross body, and only subtle body gets identified with the Atma and creates a new world and experience and gets attached or identified with the experience and experiencer. Self gets identified with experience and experiencer. And in individual level, that identified self with the subtle body is called Taijasa. Like when the self or Atma is identified with the gross body, it is called Vishwa. But someone asked me a question, what about the world? Yes. When the same Atman is identified with the whole universe, is called Virat. Then if the Atma or the self is identified with the whole subtle body, is called Hiranyagarbha. Okay. So we had seen how dreams indicate some future happenings. They also behave like indicators or suchakas. Thus, they have their intrinsic value. Though these are extremely haphazard, they let out the emotions pent up in the subconscious. The dream state has been related with the subtle body by the Vedantics. While in dream state, the soul has nothing to do either with the gross or causal bodies. And when a person dreams, there are rare occasions when he is aware that he is dreaming. Dream within dream, yet dreams have no value of themselves. We cannot build up our lives basing upon some dream of ours. Suppose we are dreaming that we have got $1 million. Through this money, by this money, we can't purchase even a small cookie also. And there is no value of the very big wealth in dream. So if I recapitulate, the spiritual aspirant, desirous of knowing the self, is studying the different aspects of his personality. He knows now that he has three bodies and lives in lives in three bodies, three states. But he or she also knows that his ideal is the fourth state, which we will come tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you, Brahmachari ji. Hari Om.
Did you enjoy the class?
Yeah. Brahmachari ji, I have a question.
Yes.
Yes. You said that the intellect is the efficient cause of the dreams, no? The karana of the dreams. At the same time, it is written that the intellect has no play in the dream state. So how do you, I just make it clear.
Here, intellect means you can tell as a whole mind.
Okay.
Mind is the creator. Mind is the seer. Mind is the creation. Experiencer, object of experience, everything else.
Yeah.
In the dream, I may go to Norway and watching the aura, beautiful aura, but it is in our mind. So that is the thing. Anything more? Okay. So we will conclude the class. And at 11 o'clock, there is Sanskrit grammar and spoken Sanskrit. Hari Om.